And the last time we discussed about several countries, that's United Kingdom, Estonia, and today we'll be doing just Australia and the US. And the reason for that is because these two countries are well funded. They have several opportunities compared to the one we studied 2 weeks ago. So I'm hoping to like to share my slide and we go from there. Please, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me during the webinar. You are free to like cut me or probably put the message or the question you have in the chat box. And if I'm speaking very fast, please let me know. If I'm speaking very slow or not audible as well, please also let me know. So going straight to what we have today. So basically this will be like a similar format to what we did 2 weeks ago, but we're much more comprehensive compared to what we had. So this is what we'll be covering today. What we'll be talking about basically. And first and foremost, I would like to like discuss about my platform. So my platform was first created in 2021. It was started as a study in Korea group because I was in South Korea at that point in time. So I was trying to like bring people there until when our South Korea policies changed. And because of that, I changed the name to like study abroad. And since that time, we have several webinars that we've posted. We have most of our videos on YouTube, and also we have the WhatsApp group link. So if you are interested in journey, we have to like make the videos, sorry, the links to the video and the WhatsApp group and the chat group. So I'm gonna do that during the meeting. So just a few information about me. For those that missed out last week, I changed a couple of things up, but never too late. So this is just me. My name is Adidamla David. I'm from Ondo State, Ondo Town to be precise. I'm always active at night. Like for instance, I slept around 4 a.m. this morning. Is it 4? Yeah, 4. Is it 4 or 5? I don't know. 4 or 5 a.m. this morning. Just to like to make things in order. Then this website talks about my research and academic career path. So you can always like look me up and check what I've done so far. And this is me. I'm always a physics guy. So I started my career in OAU, physics, engineering physics, White House. I did my master's in the same department. Then I moved to South Korea in 2020, and now I'm in the US. I moved to the US in 2022. And this is one thing about me. So the fact that like I love books so much just means I don't have time to like do other things. So one of the things I like doing is like I'm a chorista in a church, so I sing a lot. Um, I listen to music while I'm studying or reading. I like traveling. Like travel is one of the things I like doing. I like gaming. Gaming is what thing I added recently. The last time I really had time for gaming was when I was in OAU doing my undergrad. But now my love for gaming started again. Then I love comedy and skits. That's one thing you can always catch me doing many times. So my research interest. So I am a guy that like microfluidics. This is what I did in South Korea, 3D printing, TFD. In OAU, I did atomic physics, but now I'm working on DFT and ferroelectric materials. So I'm open to collaboration. To anyone that want to collaborate with me, I'm always open. So to know more about what I'm doing, you can just always like check me up on this website. It has my research, Gate profile, LinkedIn, and as well as my Google Scholar, just in case you want to know much more about what I'm doing. So for those that missed out from last week, 2 weeks ago, we have these tools that you need for grad school. Like to show that you're ready for grad school, you need academic CV transcripts, SOP, letters, these exams, publications, and West evaluation. So I would talk more deeply about them because the countries we are dealing with today actually are very high or big on these recipes. And there's a folder that has some sample templates, which I will also share during the meeting. So I will talk more about all these things during one or two interactions. And so one thing I've seen most of the time is that, well, personally, I write SOPs, I write CV for people, is that people always mistake professional CV with academic CV. They are different. But for some courses like MBA, you need a professional CV. That is acceptable. But for non-professional fields, you need an academic CV. And there is a great difference between academic CV and professional CV. And I think I will show you also a template of that if time allows me. I don't have that in my schedule today, in my agenda today, but I'll try and see if we can go to that route. Another thing is you need an unofficial transcript. That is very essential. And for those that can afford WES, you can also like do that. I will talk about WES evaluation when we go to USA evaluation. Then we have writing samples. That's a personal statement, SOP, diversity statement, and some countries ask you to submit proposals as well. So these writings are very important. And some of these writings can take up like 2 months or 3 months. And since the last webinar, that was 2 weeks ago, up to now, I've received up to like 10 requests from people to help them review their CV and SOP. I have a backlog of them like right now. Like I have a lot of people on my neck, like, oh, do this and that. So I do that for people. Like I just need the zeal and the enthusiastic from you if you are ready for graduate school applications. These letters are from people you know already. These exams are important, and I will explain why later. Publications optional, but if you have it, great. Where's evaluation just for the USA schools? Aside from that, everything is okay. So the first country I'm talking about is Australia. Australia is a very fun place to be honest. If you know about Australia, you know that Australia is a fun place to be, not just because of anything, but they are well funded. Like they are well funded, and their universities are highly recognized in the world. Like they're highly recognized. You don't need application fee. You need a CV, a transcript, writing proposals, and PhD is most of their preference. But the problem with Australia is that it is very like highly competitive. Like once I mean like highly competitive, I mean very competitive because in the sense that you can even have a first class and still yet not qualified to get admit to get into for their programs. So my personal experience, what actually made me dislike Australia is that so there was a time like that I applied to a particular school. So I sent an email to a professor. Then that was 2018, 19. And then I have a first class for my master's program. I think I have my IELTS then, or yeah, I'm not so sure. I think I have my IELTS then. Then I finished with 2-1. So I have 2-1, first class, IELTS. I think I have, yeah, I also have a publication. So these are my first strong points. So I wrote to this woman, oh, so and so, like I've interested in like joining their program and all. So that day she just said, oh, dear so, I don't think you'll be successful in our scholarship program because so that message like said like I don't think you'll be successful in pursuing a PhD in our institution because of your portfolio. It made me sad. And since that time I told myself I'm not applying to any school in Australia because of that. But I think 4 years along the line I applied to Australia. I got in. So I got a professor to give me funding. The interaction was cool. I think I passed the 2 stages. The last stage till now, that was 2 years ago. Till now, it's still under consideration because I didn't follow it up. So Australia is a good place actually if you really want to go to Australia to schools and universities. And I will show you how to get your way around Australia scholarships. Like if you get into Australia, you have funding for yourself, funding for your wife, your kids, and like you're forever settled. So I'll just show you what the universities we have in Australia and how you can get some of their funding in a few seconds. So just let me know if you have a question before I move to how you can get apply for scholarships in Australia. Let me know if you have any question before I move to the universities. Okay, give me a sec. Any question from anyone about what said in the past few minutes? Give me a question. So let's move to how to apply for funding in Australia. Entire screen share. So, so can we all see my Google Chrome? Oh my God, don't mind me. I'm a Jesus guy, so I've done whatever you are seeing in my chat history. So Australia, universities in Australia. So yeah, I believe you can also see my screen. So there are the 42 universities in Australia, and these are the universities that we have in Australia. Bond University, Shansdown University, Charlestown University, Sikh University, Western Australia, Cotton, Deakin. There are a lot of them. So I'll be going through just some of the universities I know they have several scholarships. One of them is Griffin University, Monash University, RMIT. So let's start with Monash first. Let's see, Monash. Yeah. So Monash University is one of the schools like I personally like because of their numerous funding opportunities. And so one thing about Australia is that their scholarships are always direct like to locate. So you can just come here, scholarships, then you have like I said, you have several scholarships for everyone, every person, depending on wherever you're coming from. So you have this is scholarship program for a particular set of people, but our focus would be on other scholarships. And if you notice what we have in this, sorry, you notice what we have here, we have relocation scholarship, resident scholarships, scholarship for domestic students. There are a lot of them. Let's try and see, let's find the course. Like I said before, we have different, let's find the course first. So we'll be focusing on more like STEM and non-STEM today, graduate degree. So most of the funding in what's it called in Australia are much more inclined in to the PhD students for several reasons, and they have courses as well for people. Let's say accounting, for instance. Now, want to do a master degree in accounting in Australia, and these are the basis of what you need: the application fees and applications and fees. These are the scholarship they offer. So when people tell me like, "Oh, David, you don't have scholarships for what's it called for non-STEM," actually, there's scholarships for non-STEM. The major way for you to like locate the scholarship is by going to the school websites. So by going to the school website, you can find several scholarships. For instance, the accounting program in Monash University offer a scholarship of about 280,000 Australia dollars, and this is like one time offer that you can only see for most of the universities versus universities here in Australia. Okay. So these are the scholarship they have. I think we have been here. They have in Monash, and this also applies to several programs as well. Like whatever you are studying, you have several programs you can always get scholarship from. For instance, let's go to advanced finance master degree. The same thing also apply that no matter the program you're applying for, there will be a scholarship, application and fees, scholarships, the same thing. So that means there are scholarships for every program in Australia. So So anytime you ask me like David, why are you just updating or uploading scholarships for people in sciences alone? Why not arts or educations? The question is there are several scholarships for all courses, regardless of what you study in Australia. Like every program has their own scholarship route. The reason why STEM is majorly pronounced is because STEM has a lot of fundings. So for instance, now this course does not come with a scholarship. And that's how do I know? Because I have to like go to the website of the school and check it out myself. So most of the time, if you need scholarships for some programs, you have to go directly to the program websites of that institution. And that will give you enough plan to like enough opportunity to like plan and get like, okay, this have funding, it doesn't have funding. For instance, I think someone in this meeting like messaged me some time ago, like he said, "Oh, David, I'm applying to this series schools," and I said, "Oh, same in three schools. Then we had a Zoom meeting and we went through the schools together. And we get to the point like, oh, this school has funding. Oh, this school does not have funding. They didn't put it on their website. Oh, she said, oh, David, I wrote them myself and they have funding. She sent me the email she sent to them. To be honest, when she sent me the email that she sent to the school, the funding is, I think that's the best funding I've seen so far for a non-STEM field. The funding covers insurance, covers relocation plan. Like when you're relocating from one country to another, it's it has funding, but they didn't put it on their website. So how did the person know? The person had to like message or mail their graduate coordinator. Then for the third school she picked, he was like, oh, why are they giving 50% funding? But that 50% in that language is like 100% tuition waiver and funding. And that was how we were able to like solve that differences. So most of the schools that you are going, or most of the universities you are going have scholarships for your program. But the main problem is that you need to like go to the website of this institution, check if they have funding for you. If they don't, write their graduate coordinator. Oh, dear graduate coordinator, I'm coming to this school. How can I get an admission, or how can I get funding for that? And I will have to like explain how to write graduate emails to these people as well. So this another school, this another program here. This is international relations, masters in Monash University. And let's see the application and fee. So let's see, they have something like that here. I don't think they do. That has to do with funding. Yeah, they do. They have scholarship as well. So they have to have scholarships for your programs in Australia. Like just mention any school. And one thing is that the application is let's see when you can apply. You can apply, yeah, you can apply directly. You can I think most of the program are all around in Australia as well. They're all around. So this is how you find universities and your course of study in Australia. They're very straightforward. Just go to the school website and check whatever you have, and you'll be surprised that they have funding for your program. You'll be surprised. Like I'm a physics guy, so let's try and see if they have physics in this program. PHBY. Oh really? They don't have physics? That's strange. Oh my god, they don't have my course. It's heartbreaking though. Let's see. Is there any physics program in this school? Nope, I don't think so. So let's see science, Gent Award. Let's see this doctorate PhD program and see if they have funding for anyone interested. So let's see applications and fees. I'm surprised there's no funding here. So yeah, there's scholarship. Remind me. So applications to apply to Gent Award, the Monash as institution are able to apply for central scholarships. So there are scholarships in Monash, like a lot of them. So let's move from Monash University and let's go to our RMIT Australia. So let's go to RMIT. RMIT is also a good school that I so much love as well. And so let's see. Let's just go to fees and scholarship straight up because we have a lot of things to do today. Still have time. Yeah. So we have scholarships commencing international students. So let's see what scholarship they have. And let's see. So they have Australian Award scholarships, they have RMIT funded scholarships, and they have external scholarships. Like I said, all the scholarships are available to everyone, and they said across all fields of study. So let's try and check the funded scholarships, excuse me, and see what they have for international students. So they have the global scholarships, for instance. They have foundation academic scholarships, Medibank scholarships. They have South Asia. Yeah, this scholarship is what I applied to one time like that, and I have a lot of funding covered using the scholarships. But, so these scholarships that they have, a lot of scholarship opportunities funded. So how to find out to apply? It's very stressful applying to scholarships in RMIT, like very stressful. But the main thing is you have to just go to the stressful way. So first and foremost, you need to choose the program, identify your research project, See discuss on scholarships and prepare your application. Admit or okay. So let's see. This is 2025 research scholarships. So they are to commence in March 2025. So if you apply now in RMIT, you will start your program in March next year. And I think I applied to this first. So what do you need first? So you can see that scholarships are awarded through a highly competitive process. Like I said, in Australia, that we got, you don't have to be surprised. And if you intend to apply for one of these scholarships, it's recommended that you start the application process without delay and submit your expression of interest as soon as possible. So what is EOI? So EOI are what you submit um, for international students. Yeah. So they said, so let's see this. EOI is received from students after 18th September. Okay, that's the deadline. You have to submit before 18th of September. So EOI is more like once you're applying to a school, you need to like submit an EOI form. So in that EOI form, you submit your CV, your transcripts, your SOP, what you want to work on. You'll be asked to identify three professors you'd like to work with. So once you submit that EOI, then it will allow you to like go to a pool of decision. So once a professor said that, oh, I want to work with you, that doesn't mean that the professor is saying that I've give you funding. So the professor may have like about 4 people on his list and is considering you for RMIT. So most Australian university uses these EOI forms. I think I had one. I would love to show you, but I didn't get that from a Gmail yesterday. So once you fill the AOI, it's very stressful. Like I said, it takes time. Then you choose your program. Like there are several programs you can choose in RMIT. That's how am I eligible? The English requirement, they waive it for like people in some country. You check your eligibility. So most of the programs that they funded are masters by research or PhD. Identify your research project area and propose your own research topic, discuss on scholarships. You have several scholarships, like I said, and because this was one I was applying for that time. Where is this guy? Hmm, This one. No, not this one. Yeah, this. Yeah, it should be this one. Yeah, LTP. That was applying for them. So I got in actually. I got in, and after I got in, I think I stopped replying the supervisor because I got to use offer. So that would even make my life easier than because it was so stressful. But trust me, it's worth it because in the season of your applying, nothing becomes stressful because you have nothing to lose in applying or not applying. So course and scholarships, they don't require application fee, and these are the scholarship they have. And once you are done, that's it. So you can browse research scholarships. So prepare your application, EOI application, admission to research program, use standard form, and that is the checklist. Let me see if my application is still active. Maybe, I don't know. But I know I did have an application with these guys. Here you can see that I do, that I'm not lying. Hopefully it goes through. Hopefully. Yep, I don't lie. So this was me submitted one. This was 2024. So I think they gave me feedback that I was unsuccessful. That was when did I submit this application? So let's see. Um, I can't find why when I submitted. So yeah, I have applications was going through with them. So I know I submitted my applications and I submitted 11 documents. This was 2022 March. Why? I was I was here already. So I was US already. So let's go through my applications. I don't know why. So this is 2022. Yeah, application submitted 2022 March. Yeah, I was in South Korea then. Yeah, don't mind me. So we have submitted, assessed, successful. So this point, I'm like, okay, I'm getting in. At this point, I was being assessed. Like, whoa. So they sent me successful in February this year. So the reason, like I said before, the reason why application stayed long on their system was because up to this point, to this point here that I was successful here, I was in contact with my advisor, and she said he was going to surgery. So since I got my program in the US, I just forget about it. And you could see that they kept accessing my program, my stuff up to this year. And I think these are the program stuff I submitted. You see them: statement of research, BSc thesis, BSc transcript, MSc thesis, MSc transcript, and CV, technical passport. These are my papers I had, then just two papers as at 2022. One to three, then application form. And that was all I submitted for the application. And I think so that was everything I submitted back then. Just to tell you, like, okay, I wasn't lying. Yeah, I was not lying. I wasn't lying. So that was what I submitted back then, and just give me a minute. Yeah, that was what I submitted back then, and this is what it was like. So RMIT is a very good school if you have plans to go to RMIT, and their scholarships. I can give you like a one-on-one guideline if you want, if you're interested. But the main focus is just that the EOI is very stressful. Like their program is drilling, but it's worth it because they have general scholarships, like a lot of them, like scholarships that be happy that you're applying to, relocation scholarships for you and your spouse, even for the kids. And thousands of scholarships are being advertised in RMIT, thousands of them, like thousands of them. You see, there are many grants available to support higher degree, like thousands of them. STEM, business and law, design. These are scholarships that you can apply to, like several scholarships you can apply to. This is just one out of many that you can apply to, one out of many. And this is just, like I said, this is research scholarships based on this. There are STEM, business law. There's another one, funded scholarships too. So there are a lot of them. So Australia is a very good school. You want to go to Australia, like if you want to apply to Australia, it's a very good school. So let me see if we have more time to do one more school in Australia. So let's do reference. No, do I like reference? I don't think so. Uh, so let's see. Let's do one more school then. I think we are done for Australia. So for both, oh, my bad. I made a mistake. So I would have shown you. So I didn't show for non-STEM feeds. So if you see non-STEM feeds, you have supply chains now. You have IMIT research days, PhD in domestic and business law. So for the non-STEMs too, you have several scholarships too. Like promised that I'll pay most focus on you guys today. So we have scholarships for non-STEM as well. So let's try master by research. Let's see what they have: eligibility, first class honors. Like I said, they're very competitive. How to apply? This is what they need to apply. So Australia is very competitive, highly competitive, like highly competitive. So let's do one more schools, and we are good to go to other countries, to the US. So let's see one more school that we can go to. Griffins is like a stubborn university too. So there's this school that this is also a very good school. Adelaide, Adelaide University. Melbourne. Yeah, I like Melbourne, so I really like Melbourne. So let's do Melbourne. Oh, yeah, good to go. So what does like I said to cookies, so sorry. So what does Melbourne has for us? Like see. First thing I always check in most schools is just for scholarships, graduate research. So there's a difference between graduate course and graduate research. So graduate research are more funded than the graduate course. So that's what's different between the two. Number one in Australia. So BRAS research degrees, find the supervisor, find the project, how to apply BRAS scholarships. So this is the process too. BRAS research degrees, find the supervisor, find the project, how to apply. So let's try to find the research degrees first. Uh, I'm interested. So these are the program they have. And emphasis on graduate research because they are more funded than any of those things. Master of research, of education, master of surgery. So there are several courses you can apply for. And sorry about that. The scholarships. Let's go to scholarships and scholarships they have. So these are scholarship they have. Fine. So this is page one of 12, right? And this is 1261 scholarships. So let's see, open for applications is 165. Open for automatic consideration is 570. So that means there are scholarships in the world. So the only reason that you're not applying for scholarship or you're not scholarship in field is because you've not searched enough. And that being said, I think I've been able to convince you that there are several scholarships in Australia, that the stumbling block could be just that they are highly competitive, one. And that thing is because you've not searched for all these schools. And like I mentioned earlier, they only have they only have Australia only have 42 universities. To be honest, they have 42 universities, and your excuse for not applying or not checking one or two out of them is because you've not searched them enough. So, so that is all about Australia. And there's one fact about Australia actually, which we need to know. And they are the sixth largest country in the world. They have several variations, climates, um, fauna, plants, and all. And another thing you need to know about Australia is that the kangaroos in Australia outnumber the humans in Australia. Like even the number of Australia in sorry, the number of kangaroos in Australia are times three the populations of the whole of Jamaicans, times three or times four. So that means for every Jamaican, there is up to like about 4 to 10 kangaroos. So, and this is just the fun part about Australia. We all know that they have several issues with, not issues, like interaction with snakes. So yeah, it's a very good place. It's safe, to be honest. It's highly competitive, and their permanent residency is point based, more like Canadian permanent residency. And there are several ways you can get that. So when you are studying, you can have a post-study work stream, and with your post-study work stream, you can always come back to this category, um, skill immigration pathway. And once you are done with your post-studying, you can have this accessible. Then if you eventually get a job, so if you didn't get a job on time, you'll be using your post-study permit to work on getting either of this visa. And if you finish studying and you get a job, your job can apply for you. And actually, that is all about Australia. Please, I welcome questions before I move to the next thing on the agenda. Please, if you have a question, you can ask me now about Australia, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Do you have any question about Australia? Anyone? Okay, but I thought member asked for application fee. Melbourne, I don't really know much about. Yeah, but I'm not sure I applied to Melbourne. So I applied to several schools, but I don't think any of the Australian schools has for application fee, except we are going for masters by course and not master by research. So I'm not too sure. I'm not really pretty sure about Australia as for application fee. But throughout my applications with schools in Australia, I didn't apply for anything as that. I hope I answered your question, Jennifer. So any question again before I move to the next thing on the agenda?
Yes, Dave, I
Yeah,
don't know, can I add something?
yeah, of course you can.
So I think for Australia, I got the news right of recent that in terms of the pathway for the permanent residence of a thing, it's more like they are looking at the age now, like when you are ascertaining like 40 years, like it can be so difficult. You understand it now? Like it can be difficult. I don't know the new policy that came in. I don't know if you are aware of the new policy that came in. You understand? So I wouldn't know. You know, every country has its own policy and what have you. You get it. So I just say let me chip in that stuff. You know. And another thing I want to say is also the fact that in terms of all the application you talked about concerning Australia, I remember then when I applied to the Australia, that is University of Monash, and I got scholarship there. It was more like that night I was like, okay, let me just explore. Sometimes you need to like email the graduate coordinators. They can tell you if it's advisable for you to get an advisor. But trust me, there's a lot of scholarship there in Australia. But the fact is that most people are afraid of the distance and what have you. But it can be your choice. So if you don't attempt something, right, there's no way you can get it. So there's always the place of attempting it, like emailing them. They're always there. Sometimes I wake up in the midnight and I send email. I get what I'm saying. So in the morning I'm waiting for their email. So we have email back and forth. So sometimes you need to approach the graduate coordinator. Oh, you are so person. You want to seek scholarship for this, for that, for this. Then they'll give you an heads up. So that's just my little contribution. Thank you,
Yeah,
David.
thank you, Sam. Yeah, that was yeah. I think from the slide I showed, the age is requirement now. So I don't know. I don't know much about the age stuff. So I think Canada naturally has limit the number of studying permits that you can get in Canada. And now that once you're in Canada, you can't convert. Is it convert from a study permit to like is it permanent residence or something? So you have to go outside the country to reapply. So I think every country now are trying to like bring the policy that does not really favor international students because of what they are seeing in United Kingdom right now. So UK is being overpopulated by immigrants, and immigrants are now causing a challenge to even the residents of those countries. So each country now have their they have a benchmark to what you can have. And trust me, one of the best routes for you to like leave Nigeria is through education. Like it's very easy and convenient. And through your education, you can get a job when you're done, and your job can fight for you. Or you can also like based on your credentials and achievements, you can get this funding opportunity, this green card, or whatever residency that country offer. Then one more question on the chat box. But she said the university emailed that they are not accepting applications from Nigeria. Yeah, so some universities have their reasons for not accepting applications from Nigeria because maybe there have been cases of fraud in time past. Like it could be a case of fraud in time past. I've seen even in the US, people forged their transcripts, they forged their GRE results just to gain access to schools in the US. So I'm not surprised if things like that are happening, like some schools, and that's because something like WES were not compulsory before, which was optional. In South Korea before, you don't need to go to a Ministry of Education or Foreign Affairs or embassy to like legalize your results. No, what they did before, like just submit straight. But people taught them that lesson, like fraudsters and all. So each country, so policies are changing every now and then. So it depends on the school and the country you're applying to. So let's see what I'm having next year. I think some of you have to come up. So let's
Okay.
see.
Or you want me to
Yeah,
come in?
yeah, you're
Okay,
coming
so
here.
like the question you said now, the question that you answered now as regards some schools that don't take Nigerian in particular. Yes, good number of schools. I remember then when I was applying for Chinese government scholarship, like the supervisor that wanted to pick me up, he was like, he likes me and he has gone through my research, like he was attracted to my research. We have been having application back and forth and everything. So like I think some weeks to the I think for the list to be out, he just told me that Samuel, I don't know how to like give you this news that you will not be accepted. I mean, like the international school, they say they don't want like application from Nigeria. I was like, what is all this? Like, you know what I mean? So in terms of that, like some people have like given us bad reputation or bad records and what have you. So it's not their fault. They don't just want people from Nigeria. And also in the United States, I think I remember the friend. that was applying to a school, and it was like they said they will not give him admission because he's from Nigeria. Because I think that year, a professor collected some Nigerians or some African, so they were not able to give a good reputation. I think they migrated to another school or something, something, something. So since then, the professor vowed he's not gonna get in Nigeria. But come to think of it, my own current professor is an American, right? And anytime he just, I didn't do interview with him. I remember I didn't do like interview. It was more like communication because he told me he was coming to Busan, right? He came to Busan, like we had a kind of conversation. Someone, hi South Korea, hi is this thing like, hi is this thing. So at the end of the conversation, he just shared the email of Nigerians that were in the lab, and he told me that, oh, Samuel, like two people I can always collect or like is because in terms of research, in terms of industrial training and what have you, they are Nigerians and American. You can imagine. So a prophet sometimes may not be recognized in some places. So we keep giving our best and making a good reputation of who we are and what we are doing. You understand? So it's just this and that. But that does not stop you from applying. I tell people that when you see application free waiver or anything, just apply. It doesn't take you stress. Like you are not paying money. You get it now. Because I remember then vividly, it was more like I was just trying my David, you can attest to it now, right? Like I was in South Korea. My
Yeah.
mind was not even in South Korea. Like I was saying, bros, would you would you leave me like this in another man's country when you left to the United States? So I was just applying, and I was applying because I was like, there's no money for application fee. I applied. So I applied, and when you apply, you definitely get a result, whether good or bad. You understand? It doesn't take anything from you. So, and there's some schools in the United States, well, so to me, I'll be saying they are R, but they are not R. You get it? That is just their belief. They don't want Nigeria. Don't let us cast it. You get it now? So they can be how and they may not be how, depending on the kind of people they have, you understand? And all these things happen when you don't have international experience. You have your first degree was in the United States, your second degree was in the United States, the fourth degree, you understand? So how versatile would you be at that kind of, get it? But most times professors from different angles, like they've gone to Australia for their MSc, they've gone for this and they are this thing, you get, they get exposure. They get exposure. Thank God, my professor, he has gone to different states in Africa, so you can relate with anyone. You get it now. You get it. So let me tell you this, as Nigerian, be proud of yourself. I get what I'm saying. Every day I tell myself, I tell my family, I tell everybody around me that I'm proud. I'm proudly a Nigerian. I'm telling you, Nigerians are doing excellently well in all part of the world. So don't say, why at this time was I born in Nigeria and what have you, get it. So I'm a proud Nigerian to the core. Yeah, thank you very much. I rest my case for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. So yeah, it's good to be Nigerian. Actually, I'm Nigerian. I'm proud of Nigeria, and I'm the only Nigerian in my department. I'm the only African in my department, and I'm proud to be that. Do people beef me? Yeah, they do. Do I really care? No, I don't. I'm here for my PhD and I'm out to get it. So it's one of those things. Be proud of who you are. That's very important. Like our country, our government may not actually identify like the skills or probably the potentials we have, but being able to show the world like, oh, this is what I made of, then it's an opportunity for you to like, oh, I'm out here and I have to make it count. That is very important. And about Einstein said like the ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. Our life is not meant to be determined by people or surroundings or by the government of our country. Is you have to like leave that comfort zone. I told someone like it is very difficult to convince someone that is earning 500,000 in Nigeria to pursue graduate degree in the US. It's very difficult. Like that's the most difficult. You can't convince someone that is working in Nigeria 500,000 every month to just leave. And the surge of the number of people that always come to my DM always increases when there's problem in Nigeria. During answers, there were a high number of people that came to my DM that I should help them on leaving the country. During there was something that happened in Nigeria then, but there was an increase in kidnapping, and some other things like, David, I want to leave this country. Several people have left, some people are still there. But in everything that you are doing, just trying to make several efforts. So without taking much time is fast spent. Let's go to like the USA. So what is special about the USA? They have several funding for every Tom, Harry, and Dick. But there's application fee, there's waiver, there's transcript, there's writing samples, there's WES, there's GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, MSc, and PhD. Funding, university scholarship, assistantship. So they are teaching assistantship, they are research assistantship. So there is project assistantship. I got to know about this last week when I was in a meeting with a one-on-one discussion with someone. So we went to our school, and from our school website we saw project assistantship. We're like, what is this? This is the first time I've been hearing project assistantships. Then there are fellowships too. Then how to apply university website. I'll show you what to do and how to apply and the importance of all these in a sec. So why the benefit of USA? They have numerous funding. You have HND, there's no problem. You have T2, there's no problem. So I'm going to start from these two. Then from these two, we go back to this place. So if you have HND and we finish with T2, how can you gain admission to the US? So how can you get admission to the US? So if you have either of these two, your best bet is to do this. You have to do WES, you have to do GRE. You can exclude these two because Nigerians, most schools, some schools in the US recognize Nigeria as English speaking country, so you can fit that a bit. But one thing that is sure that I know is that in the US, actually, this if you have a HND or you finish with a 2-2, you need to like write 1, 2, and this 3. I need to have publications too. You need to have publications, which I think is far more important. You need to have publications if you have HND or 2-2. And if you don't have publications, just ensure you have a very high GRE score. Your WES is on point, and your writing samples, SOPs are very like top notch. So how then can you convert your CGPA? So if you don't have money for what's it called? Have money for the main one. If you don't have money for like the main WES, there are ways for you in which you can um just know your score, your GPA. So most minimum requirements of GPA in the US is 3.0, like 3.0 GPA requirement. 3.0 GPA requirement. So, and how can you convert that? So let's go. Let me show you how. So let's see. Stop sharing. I need to share my whole screen again. Show you. Okay, I thought I was not recording. I was like, I was recording. So let's see. I have to share my entire screen again. Sorry. Sorry if you are seeing my screen again. Okay. This guy don't want to come up. So let's go to hide floating panels. So let's go to iWES. So you want to convert to GPA, even though you don't have 2-2 or you have 2-1 or you have first class, and you want to convert to GPA to 4.0 system. So in the US, they use. Oh, what is that? So in the US, oh my God. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. But let me give you a see my screen. I will not see my screen. Just let me know. I don't know. So in the US, they use 4.0 system. And so this was, so they have a calculator online that can help you convert. So this is, you are not paying for this one. You are not paying for this. I need to copy the link. Yeah. You are not paying for this guy. Like there's the one you pay for, but for the calculator, like IGP calculator, is different from the standard one. But they will give you the same, almost the same conversion anyway. Because when I did mine then, it gave me the same, just like I think 0.01 difference. So what you just do is like when you come to this website, I will put it on the chat box. You write your name. Oh my God, it's showing everything about me. That's crazy. So let's put some names there. So Nigeria, Nigeria. Okay, email. So let's do something. Gmail.com. Okay, continue. So what is the degree name? RR, position in DDD, select content of education. Why is it asking me again? Nigeria. So this is for people that want to convert their GPA to the US standard. So for your undergrad, it's 8 to F, right? So how many years of study? I say 4. I agree to times of use. You continue. So this is what you do. My advice is that don't enter your course title because this is very stressful, but it's worth it. I did it. So all your course you did from part 1 to part 4, you have to enter all of them. So instead of you typing maybe intro to chemistry and you write the credit, just avoid the title. What you just need to focus on is credit and grade. So if it's 3 unit course, so um yeah, 3 unit course. Even if you have A, B, or C, I say A, add course. You keep doing that. 4 unit course, you add B. So you keep doing that until when you are done. And after you are done, then you convert your CGPA to like 4.0, and that is it. So that is for people that want to convert from are trying to like convert from their course of study, like their CGPA in Nigeria, in the HND, you have HND or 2.2. So even though you finish with 2.2, once you pass through the 3.0 out of 4.0 GPA, then be sure that you have scholarships waiting for you in the US. So once you put your HND transcript result and you notice that your GPA is more than 3.0 or it is exactly 3.0, then be sure that you have funding waiting for you in the US. So the fact that you finish the 2.2 doesn't mean that you can't get scholarship in the US. No. Once you convert your transcript grades from your school standards to the US standard, in this case, you don't have to put the elective courses. You put the core courses, the main courses. So if you are doing special elective in agric or special elective in law, you don't add this one does not count. These are just past courses. But the one you have maybe A, B, C, D, E, even the F, put it. I hope I hope we understand that about the West. Um, coming, I'll attend this question later. So that is all about West GP calculator. Then I made mention of GRE, IELTS, and TOEFL. So GRE is important if you have very low grade. IELTS is important if you're looking for teaching assistantship. So in the US, we have I think I'll talk about that later. Let's just go for the schools, universities in the US. So for ICU, um, so for ICU, this is the website of the schools in the US by states. These are the list of the schools in the US by states. And how do you find scholarships in these schools? Like how, what to do, how do I know this school has scholarships or not? So for the sake of time, I will go through 3 states, and from each state, I will go through 3 universities. So please just follow with me closely. Um, does any have a suggestion of the state you want to like that you want like your preferred state in the US? Just mention any state, then we can go from there. If you have any state you have in mind in the US, just mention the state. Okay, I have
Go
someone in
to
chat.
South Dakota.
Ohio, South Dakota, Indiana. Okay. So let's try Ohio first. South Dakota, let's see. We have Texas. Oh, Texas, cool. So let's try Ohio first. So we have these 2 schools. So I have someone in this school. I have someone in this school. Yeah, I have someone in this school, yeah. In this school and this school. So let's try Cincinnati. Let's try Cincinnati first. So let's see. So come to this school now. So when you get to a school in the US, first thing first is look for graduate programs. And some schools have a very complex website. Some they are very easy, like very easy. So let's see how to locate them. Connect, apply, admissions. Nope. Like I said, some schools have complex programs. So let's see, budget program, grades, admissions. We go back to where we come from. See, find your major. Okay, master's, doctoral degree. So, what's up? System. Wow. So, program award, doctoral degree, good. Okay. So let's wait. So they have 983 programs in this school. Let's load masters as well. So yeah, cool. So they have several programs in this school. Doctoral program, 99 programs from. Yeah, 99 programs from. And let's try. Let me see. I don't know why the master system is also coming up. Okay. So that programs they have in this school. We have a lot of them. Business admin, analytics, and all. So I'll do one STEM and one non-STEM. Okay. My sister said, more. Let's go. That's very expensive neighborhood. So when you're considering your state in the US, so please consider the state, the standard of living in that state, um, gun control in that state. So for instance, sorry, for those going to school state, so in Texas, so I was in Texas some months. So Texas is my most visited state in the US. So when I was going to Texas, so something popped out on my phone like, oh,
I'm in
that
Texas. I'm in Texas for now.
wait, like calm down now. Don't worry, they won't shoot you. So Texas is one of the states in the country that in the years that you're allowed to carry your arms, your gun freely in the public. So far it's like you're licensed. That's one thing. Yes. But Texas is like it's open to all. So Texas has a higher population of Hispanics in the US. That means the Spanish, the Mexicans in the US. So for the sake of states, we consider safety, gun violence, the cost of living, and the amount they are paying you if you're able to like balance up the cost of living. Okay. So let's see. Let's try. So we take one uh non-STEM and one STEM. So let's do business admin. So business admin, case information, no. Name more. So let's name more about business admin program in their school. And let's see, 5 years for PhD in business admin. Hmm. So this school now, like I said, they require GRE and GMAT. They require TOEFL for this course actually, and essay resume and all. So let's see if they have scholarships because you can't be asking for all these things without having funding. So how do you know they have funding? So for instance now, it was not stated here if they have funding or not. So how do you know they have funding for your program? So for this course, since it's not mentioned, so the best way is to send an email to this person. So by emailing this person, the person will tell you, oh, we have funding enough. And that's how you find funding for your programs in the US. So for example now, these people did not put on their website if they have funding or not. So we keep moving. So let's try chemical engineering. I don't know why they have to chemical engineering. So let's try learn more about chemical engineering. So this is a master's program in chemical engineering. So there they require GRE transcripts, like I said, 3.0 minimum, SOP, deadline. They are funding. You're talking about funding? Nope. Well, let's see. That's strange for this school, but I'm very sure they are funding. This is PhD in chemical engineering. Let's see if they have same thing. So you have to send an email to confirm as well. But I'm very sure like most of these programs are funded, except if they have a particular website anyway. But I'm not mentioning them. I'm not going through. Yeah. I'm sure they have funding for their programs. Very sure about that they have funding for their programs. So this is Cincinnati. Let's go to another school aside from Cincinnati. I'd put in, yeah, those two. So let's go back. We are still in Ohio. So let's go to the Ohio State University. Let's go to Ohio University. Let's go to their website and let's see what they have for us. So it's the same thing. I'm very sure this school will be very simple compared to what we went to just now. So let's go to academics, go to graduate program. So now these are the graduate program they have online, hybrid. So let's try accountancy and analytics. Let's see what they have. So financial aid available, GRE and GMAT not required. So this is a school now. They have financial aid for you, 1 year program, online. This is intuition. This is the amount of money you're going to pay. ID candidates who are old bachelor. You have to have a bachelor in accounting to be able to apply for this program. So let's see, careers, resources, financial aid. So let's look for the financial aid. So you don't need GRE for this one. That's sweet. So how do I get the financial aid? Let's see. So full view program. So let's see. Admit. And let's see what they have for the 1 year program. Uh, let's see. Let's see what they have. It's not required to. So, like I said, your GPA must be 3.0, even though you have HND or 2.2. Then, early assurance program, application requirement and deadlines. So, let's see what they have here. And so, yeah, concerning fund opportunity. So, they said a very limited assistantship each year. Even that's not all students will be offered assistantship. So, this is what they are offering you. You will not receive funding for the summer courses, understandable. Yep. So this is the funding they have for the master's program. But you are coming for PhD, you are well funded for the program. That's the difference between MSc and PhD. So for the accounting for people doing education programs, like you have funding for your programs. Like for non-STEM, they are funding for your programs, like enough funding for your programs. You just have to like go to the school websites and check it out by yourself. And like, oh, David, there's no funding for my program, there's no funding for the program. There are a lot of funding for everybody program. It's just for you to like sit down and trying to like apply for the scholarship yourself. And for the STEM feed, there's always funding. So let me just open chemical engineering. The same thing, the same routes. Let's see. So that means you can do a direct PhD in chemical engineering programming in this school and master program information. This is the third degree program. And this is what you have as well. And their fellowship as well. So every program the years are well funded, depending on the country, sorry, depending on the state you want to apply to. And that is it. So let me go to another state. People in Texas. So let me go to another state. Texas. So this is a very big school, Texas. So let's do Texas A&M. So let's see. I'm sorry for taking our time. I'm almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. So admissions, academics. Let's see. Uh, programs, graduate programs, graduate programs. Uh, this is this school. They have accounting, adult education, advanced national affairs, aerospace engineering, Africana studies. So let's try and look at let me see. They have industrial school. Oh, this is my course. That's enough. So let's see. Let's try under course. So let's try and look at in non-STEM field now. I'm doing business admissions. Let's do something arts related. So let's do communication. Let's do big details. Communication intelligence and so program website is the best place to see they have funding or not, actually. So in their program website, they will tell you what they have and what they don't have. So this is what they have. So let's see. Explore programs. Yep. Sorry about that. Study degrees. So these are the total program. And let's see. They are funding. So yep. Go to the funding and see what they have. So they have graduate assistantship. Man, this is a lot. 20,000 for 9 months. So they have science fellowships. So they have travel and research grants. So these are what they have. My God, this school is well funded, man. So yeah, this is Texas A&M. Like if you're planning to get funding non-STEM, please consider this. I didn't know much about this school until today, like until now. But this is it's school in Texas for communication and journalism. So imagine if they can have a funding as high as this for non-STEM field, how much more for people in STEM? And not just that, they have travel and research grants and fellowships. So they said to apply for a number of research and travel grants for the permanent credit. These awards include my objective. So these are the number of awards and scholarships you can apply to for this course, communications and journalism in Texas
The
A and
website
M.
is
So
they
that's
want to know
please can everybody
how
mute you? I'm serious. So this is number of schools you can like apply to is that you can apply to and the fund opportunities in that school in Texas A and M. So this is Texas Recalcitrant. No, A&M. That's it. That's A&M. So let's try one more state. I think I saw. I saw Ohio, Texas, Indiana. So Massachusetts is very expensive though. Don't know why you want to get they have very expensive schools. Like Harvard, they are very expensive. They are funding people are there anyway, but neighborhood is very expensive, like very expensive. And let's see, let's see, just to satisfy a lot of people. Trying
Alabama.
who is this person? Oh my God,
We can try.
you know, call that person before. Just give me a second, please, everyone. Um,
Então, vamos começar amanhã, type of state.
okay, muted. Oh my God, sorry about the distraction, everyone. Um, sorry about that. Um, sorry about that. So I'll continue sharing again. Okay. So yeah, this is under school in Massachusetts. Like I said, Massachusetts is very expensive. So let's try them for you to know that we're very serious about that. Let's see. Just give me a sec. I put it down. Um, UMass. Sorry, I go to the cinemas once in a while. Me. So let's see. Cost of living. I'm not discouraging anyone going there, but so the cost of living in Massachusetts is 40% higher than the national average. So if you are considering going to that state, just know that okay, you're dealing with 46% increase in whatever you're. It is safe. Housing is 108% higher than. So everything in Massachusetts is very high. So that's what happened. So I'm not saying you shouldn't go there, but let's see. So what do we have in UMass? In UMass, graduate programs. Let's see, explore our graduate programs. So let's try something different. So let's try economics this time around. excuse me, visit their website. To let's do masters, PhD in economics. So do they have funding? Excuse me. So you go to their website. So it's quite very intensive when you're looking for funding. And the best place is the program website itself, like their website themselves. I'm sorry for using them. Like the program website itself, that is where you need to get the funding from. Like you get to know the people you are dealing with and more about their program. So PhD program, let's see, uh deadline is about 15. They are funding. That's most important to me right now. So funding information is not posted in this school website. So what you can do is to email. There's always an email you can contact this person. So in cases where they don't put their funding information, just email the school and or the PI coordinator, and that is it. You'll be good. You're good. You're covered. You're covered. And that is it about finding schools in the US, basically. I don't know if you have any other questions. So for every other schools in the US, there's Ohio, yeah. For every other schools in the US, this is the best way for you to like find funding for every courses. Either you're in arts, you're in economics, you're in education, even though it's creative writing, trust me, there are a lot of funding for you. You just have to go to the school websites and find what is right for you. And before we call it, I think we are far behind schedule right now, and I'm trying to like make things faster. Um, so yes, USA has several funding. You have several fellowships. You can once you just like the application fee, but the best way for you to get a waiver is attend school webinars. So when you attend school webinars, like university webinars in the US, once you attend the webinar, they give you um application fee waiver, and that's the best way for you. But one thing that is so annoying about the waiver is that once most schools that give you waiver, they expect you to have either GRE or IELTS or worse. So it's a two-way thing. Get waiver, pay the price. Some schools also accept Duolingo. So you can do Duolingo. If the school accept Duolingo, you can do Duolingo. It's acceptable. That's okay for you if the school accept it. So the US has a lot of opportunities for everyone, several scholarships, 2-2, HND, even third class. So far, you have something like to supplement it. You're in safe ends. So what are the interesting facts about the USA? Their flag, Independence Day. So the British also colonized the US and they gained independence on July 4th. The US people love pizza. I don't like pizza. I'm not a pizza person. And trust me, I'm still skinny. The same way I came from South Korea, I just like increase a bit. Like I'm skinny, I'm not eating the burger, I still eat my normal food. And the environment is okay. The vibe they give is fine. Racism controlled, one of those things, but we just have to just cope with that while you're just making your own business. Um, their language is English and Spanish. Like you can't separate Spanish from the US. It's not possible. And so these are the fun facts about the US before discussing about the permanent residency, which is what's one of the highlights of today's segment. Like even without coming to the US or studying to the US, you can apply for a green card outside the US. It's strange, right? Yeah, it's possible. Like you can apply for a green card outside the US. Will you be given? Yes, you'll be given. So that is one thing like myself and Samuel will talk about in the next few minutes. But before then, questions. So I go back to my questions. But what do you okay.
Yes, sir.
But-
Before you go to your question, I just want to add one or two things.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So,
go on.
concerning um I had a question from someone. The person was like, she was like, she did geology, and when she did geology, she doesn't like her first degree, so she needed to change her career path, and everything. So, I tried to encourage her, telling her that the only way you can like diversify is like having a kind of, how do I call it now? A kind of probably like, okay, let me finish the story. The storyline is that she did geology and she came out with a tutu, you get it, thinking she wants to further her education. That tutu may not provide a kind of preference for scholarship and what have you. You get, so she now needed to go into HR or something management. You get it. So I told her that whether you like it or not, the foundation has been there already, except you want to change your foundation to another course entirely. Because even if anyone wants to give you a job in the future, they will ask you, what did you study for your first degree? Right? So I want to encourage people on this platform, regardless of the CGPA you finish with, don't lose hope, don't be discouraged, right? You need to just keep pushing. You can do a lot of professional courses like on that part, so that those that wants to interview you, or those that want to ascertain you into their university, can see that yes, there is this willingness, there is this enthusiasm that you have, that you want to further your education. A third class also used to have scholarship. I'm telling you, it just depends on how prepared your mind is, and how like the intensity to study it more. You understand it now? So regardless of your CGPA, I'm not saying you get the scholarship. Don't quote me wrong. But when there is they say when there is a way, there obviously
Right, there's
path
a
will be
will.
open.
There's
Yeah,
always
when
a
there is a will, there is a way. You get it now. So that's just, and some people sometimes they'll be like, I studied geology. I want to go into management and whatever. I always say it's very possible. It's actually possible. There's nothing impossible. But like, how do you navigate? How do you bring your SOP? How do you like trying to how do you narrow it to like a kind of this thing that they can see that yes, because the new path you are going into, you just know few things about it. Yes, you are developing interest in it, but you know few things about it. So so just try to see how to navigate your first part, which is your first degree, and your second degree, and you can project both of them and see the longer view of everything. You get it now. So that's just it. And number two, the part of management, trust me, there's a lot of scholarship for management. I'm telling you. In fact, there's a friend of mine that just got a scholar. She studied international relation, and she has been applying to scholarship in the US. She just got scholarship and $2,000 every month to Georgia Tech or Georgia State University, MBA on management. They'll be paying her that kind of money. You get it? My question is she doing research? No, she's not really doing, she has not done research before. But trust me, when you go navigate your path to all those scholarship websites, I mean the school and what have you, and you contact, because she's always in contact with the graduate coordinator, right? She's always in contact. I remember the Mr. David, how you got your scholarship. It was through the graduate coordinator. Oh, you have to send this document, send this document, send this document. So those graduate coordinator, they know everything that happens in the department. So you mail them back and forth. When you mail them, if they say there's no way, if they tell you made this in fact, some graduate coordinator, they know the professors that has funding. So immediately they tell you that quickly mail this professor. I'm telling you, the professor will just, in fact, sometimes they will tell you you should copy them on the email to tell you that you understand. So there's a lot of scholarship. Just keep applying, keep emailing back and forth. And I'm telling you, the sky is your starting point. So that's just it. Before we go to the path to a green card or a citizenship in the United States. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Samuel. Like I said, guide coordinators are your best bet to get funding in the US. I got mine from my guide coordinator, like back to back emails and a lot of people like that too. And if you can establish relationship with your proposed advisor, it, so one thing that happened in Australia was that no, New Zealand. Yeah, I said that 2 weeks ago. The man really liked me, like he liked me. So he said, David, I love your proposal, but for you to be able to come to work for this program, I'm going to send you my own personal proposal. So he sent me his own work. He said, just make little edits. I didn't make any edits, just probably change the name, change what I need to do. And I submitted. And that was how I got into the program. Like I got into the program, and but there was no funding. But he said if I can wait for like 1 more year, that because he has a waiting list for some people, so you have to establish a strong relationship with your what's it called, your proposal advisor. So the question was is being asked about recommenders. Yes, there's problem. So one thing, okay, I won't say this. So when I was in South Korea, my recommenders are people that, so most people tell, oh, your master's program, your master's thesis advisor must be part of your recommender, but I didn't use him for some reasons best known to me. Actually, I didn't use him. So I used a young professor in OAU then. I used um a professor that taught me in part one. I didn't even know if he taught me or not, but he taught me at big extension in part one. But since he's a professor, it was and I was tutoring his daughter then. So it made it much more easier for me to like establish connection with him. So he wrote one for me. So my third recommender was someone I never met before in my life. But I told someone like, can you please write a recommender for me? Like, no, David, I know someone that I can talk to. So they referred me to the person. The person doesn't know me, called Mamiri. So I applied to like three schools in the US. So I use different recommenders. So out of my applications, three recommenders are stable for each of them. But for the remaining two, I swap. So you can have a list of like probably like 6 people of recommenders that you know. They could be it could even be like assistant lecturer because they can you can just, oh, this is um in the US there's no assistant lecturer, or it is either assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. And all of them recorded by doctor. So you can just say, oh, this person is assistant professor. This person is associate professor. It doesn't really matter in the US. If I get a job today in the US, they will be calling me. I think associate is the first one. I don't know. So the first one is you can have professor as your own name in front of your name. I'm professor of this and that in the US until you become a full-time professor. So you need to get recommenders that can help you. You can even choose people doing postdoc in the US to write recommendation for you. You can even connect to people online, like LinkedIn and all. Another way is that on this platform, like as I'm talking to you, you can have people in your feed, like, oh, let's collaborate. Can you talk to your advisor for me to write recommendation for me? So you just have to create a link, like people that have worked with you, people that maybe saw your paper, or perhaps someone that know you in a conference. Like, oh, I met this person in a conference, and maybe in 2021 or 2022 or year 2000 or 2020, and since then I've monitored his growth, career achievements, and I've been his mentor, something like that. So you just need to like create a link. Like I can even so I've written a question for someone, but not for school, for something else entirely, for a scholarship in Ghana, and she got it. So you just need someone doing a postdoc in the US or in any country in the world. Like it's very easy to even see a postdoc, even on LinkedIn. So just try and create that connection. But most importantly, people that are from your former school, you need them. Like your former school, you guys, maybe one person from your department, one person from another department, but I've taught you because SOPs are just, information letter are just a fragment of your application. It won't, it's not like more the main component, but it's one of the essential components needed for your application. Then, what should I do if there are no funds for department so that admission will be deferred? Also, yeah, if you don't have funding, you can defer your admission. And while you defer your admission, try and reach out to professors in that department. Oh, I've got admission for the sixth semester, but I'm deferring my admission to next semester. Can you please consider for funding if you have? If they don't have, graduate school, write graduate school. I deferred my admission. There's scholarship options in which I can explore. Graduate school will tell you what to do. If they don't have, go to other department. Some other departments give funding to external students, just that your research will be with them, but your department will bear their name. And eventually, if you get funding with them and you want to like transfer your program, you can easily transfer your program to the new department. So while you defer your admission in that school, explore other departments and ask them, oh, this is my case. Can I transfer? Is it okay if I transfer to a department because I've not even started yet? Yes, you can transfer to another department within the same school. There's no problem. So far, like you saw funding in that department. Is it possible to gain a PhD or master's or PhD admission with funding with 4.52? That's a first class. Why not? Someone with 2.1 or 2.2 gets scholarships. Yeah, so the problem is without WES, publications, exams, and just one. So right now I have two candidates. Two candidates that have the same portfolio like this right now. They both finished with first class. They tried last year, they couldn't get in. So I told them, you know what, guys, let's go back to the table. You have to do GRE. You have to publish some papers. And that was it. And they're on track with that right now. So it's possible, to be honest, it's possible to get in. I know of a guy that couldn't get in, even though he had TOEFL then. Yeah, he had TOEFL then. So what he did next was that he changed his SOP. So his SOPs was revised by the professor of the lab he was going through. So they sat down together and they revised it, and it's like he submitted it. The guy got into John Hopkins University. Sorry, his transport flight was covered, funding covered. Recently, he was in Nigeria to do his research. He's back to the US. Like it's possible to get without all those things, but at least you need one of those things. Need either IELTS or publication, because let me tell you why all these things are very important. So you are competing with everyone around the world, right? And in a program, let's say you are studying physics, and for that year, they just want to employ 5 people, right? Give funding to 5 people. So out of those 5 people, maybe 3 of you guys are first class. Let's say 5 of you are first class, for instance. The 5 people are first class. And the remaining 5, they finish with 2.1, but they have GRE, they have publications, they have IELTS. To be honest with you, you have first class, you don't have GRE, you don't have IELTS, you don't have WES or publications. And people that have 2.1 and they have GRE, IELTS, and WES, who do you think they will consider publications? They will consider those 2 people because they have proven themselves that GRE is an international exam. They've proven themselves that we can we are able to like sustain or probably like to survive any difficulties since we can pass GRE. Publication shows that we can conduct research, we have research experience. So those things actually give them edge over others. So if you are competing for a space, they will always go for people that have that edge over you. Prayer is good, grace is there. Yes, it's very important. But you need to have something more than someone you're applying for. I think one of my friends just joined recently, just joined us on this group. The guy portfolio is massive, like very massive. When I mean massive, very massive. But he couldn't get USA on time until this year. I think we have been chasing together since 2018. 6 years down the line, he just got into the US. And he's one of the guys I respect so much. We went for this how much university name anyway for interview. We just went for interview. We didn't hear the results. So like we had that portfolio, like but we couldn't get into the US at that point in time. So we are competing with a lot of people. So I just persuade people, first class or not first class, at least please have either GRE or IELTS. Even Samuel, the guy I just spoke, even with his portfolio in South Korea, I think he did either. I'm not sure he did worse anyway, but I think he did one of these exams. I don't know, but I think he did. Even with his strong portfolio, you need to like put yourself out there. Like, okay, I have this
I
thing. It's
did
my own.
I did West. I did West evaluation. I did it.
Oh,
I remember it's my food money I used to do that in, as in I can't cry.
yeah, like you just have to do one. Like just and then like if you do it now, dollar is increasing every day. So you're just saving yourself from like if you like, please, I'm begging you, just try and do. Even though it's one, just do IELTS or GRE. IELTS is 2 years, so that is even problem. If it's the worst you want to do, fine. If it's GRE is 5 years. GRE is very difficult to do. For West, you don't have to pay. You don't have to do any exam. So you just have to do one thing or the other. So I have a diploma degree and BSc degree in business admin. Do I have to do West for both? So yeah, one thing about West is that once you are filling a form online, they will tell you like how many degrees do you want to add. So you can do West for 5 degrees at the same time. It's your account, so you can do it at the same time. You don't have to do several. So once you're filling the form, how many degrees you want to put, your BSc and MSc. Yes. So you have to send your transcript for the two to them. Yeah. I'm sure I've answered that question. If I didn't answer your question very well, please, because of time, you can always reach out to me. I'll drop my email right now. Let's see, to everyone. I will drop my email right now to everyone. It's come. On my WhatsApp number. So this is my WhatsApp number. Excuse me. 234-703-651-7850. And I will also drop my group link.
Mr. David, I want to quickly add something.
Yeah, yes, you can. That will give me
Yes,
time to.
so like Mr. David said, there's no time, I'm telling you, because most of these countries, there was a time that United States was like accepting students and they stopped, right? So
Yeah.
like I would say you should harness for this opportunity quickly because the likes of Canada now for now, I think they are restricting international students like
Yep.
from coming to Canada, like same with Australia. I'm not saying you cannot apply, but get me. I remembered in South Korea, um, a lot of policies now in South Korea, interviews and the likes.
Yeah, interview South Korea
Like
now.
yeah, like there's interview at the embassy. Like I get information because I'm still in touch with the consular because he's my very good friend. So there's interview. They said there's a lot of fake documents people are bringing in and what have you. So and South Korea is a very reserved country and what have you. So let's have that at the back of our mind that they said tick say the clock, tick tick. What you have to do it quickly because there's no time for anything. Because if your own is emotion that used to drive you to travel out, then I think you don't know what to do yet. Like when they say fuel price have is going high now, you quickly take action. When they say it's down now, you quickly say, "Oh, I don't want to travel." No, it should not be like that. It should be a kind of deliberate action if you want to travel out. Nigeria is very good. Most of us are advocate of Nigeria. Like if Nigeria were good as we think, I wouldn't leave Nigeria. But as the case is now, you understand. So what I'm trying to encourage is the fact that like quickly do what you want to do. GRA is getting on the increase side every day. IELTS, same thing. Duolingo, the same thing. Where's evaluation? Everybody is trying to create or make internal revenue for themselves. So you don't blame them. You get it now. You don't blame them. And also the funding also, it will get to a point in time that the United States doesn't need students as much again. Like they are okay, you get it now because they have to consider their citizens also. You get it now. They have to consider their citizen and what have you. You get me now. So anything you have to do, you have to do it quickly. And God will help us all in Jesus' name.
Yeah, thank you for that. I was surprised that South Korea like have interviews now. So the reason why I changed the group name actually from studying in Korea to studying US is that I was so tired and frustrated about the traveling plan. Like I was that day. So then during COVID, they opened their border for everyone. Like I'm very sure then we have more than 30 people that came to South Korea. Someone can bear witness. And that was like what like we're just trying to bring people in. And when the moment you brought people in, they started like increasing their I think before it was 1,500 as minimum payment. It went to 1.8. Now it's 2 million. Like, okay, what? Then it got to a point like, okay, that a professor cannot sponsor more than one student. So if you have been sponsored by a professor, then another student cannot come in. So you have to go and bring evidence of that you're able to like sponsor yourself. So that was the issue with South Korea that you know what, I'm tired of South Korea. So time is well fast spent. So someone asked, is work experience needed in the US? Well, if you're doing professional like MBA, it is needed, but MBA, finance, accounting, yeah, it could be needed. But does it really count? Maybe. But your degree, your CGPA, all those exams to actually count, and your SOPs too, your writings, the SOP. Like I don't know why SOP is very important, but it's very important. So let's go to the fun part of this lessons, actually, this webinar about the US, and I'm gonna show myself again. So yeah, so how do you get residency in the US? This person, user, okay, click on start. So how do you get residency in the US? So there's what we call OPT. So OPT is when you finish school and you don't have a job yet, you can apply for OPT in the US. For non-STEM, it's 12 months, like a year. For STEM people like me and other people, it's 2 years to like 3 years, based on what I read. So if you can't get a job within this year, then you have to go back to your country. So what people do is that if they don't get a job and they are running out of status, they will apply for another master's or PhD. But I've seen people doing that because they don't want to go out of status. So am I not saying that it's job difficult to find in the US? Well, not really, but there are cases where people have to apply for another master's or PhD because they couldn't get a job on time. So the best thing is that if you are doing a master's program, the best time for you to apply for a job is when you're 1 year out. If you are doing a PhD, the best time for you to apply for a job is when you're 1 year out of your programs. So as you are getting out your program, you know what else to do. So aside from getting a job, whatever it is, and this and that, there's H1B. H1B is like if you get a job in the US, then your employer will file for you, and that will take up to 6 years for you to get your green card. So that is one. Okay. So about these two, NIW and EB1, I think some people here know about it, and even though you're not in the US, you can apply for this and this one, and I will explain the difference. So if you're in Nigeria or anywhere in Nigeria, if you're in Africa, you can apply for these two. So far, you have a master's degree. Quote me. So far, you have a master's degree, you can apply for this and this. Once you apply for this, if you apply for either of these two, you can even apply for it at the same time. You can get, once you get approved, you can get your green card and you can come to the US without a job. So if you see this one H1B is employer sponsorship. So with this, you don't need to get a job. That means you can apply by yourself. For this one, you need a job and your employer must apply for you. But for these two to get your green card in the US, you don't need an employer. So employer can require for your application. Same thing for this one. So you don't need an employer to apply for either of these two to the US. And it will give you green card. So you don't need to come for your PhD in the US to have either of this. But what are the conditions attached to this thing? Main thing is you must have publications. Like some people don't have publications and they have it. So but you must have maybe research with conferences attendance, workshop attendance. You are like known in your field. Probably like you're a scholar, you're a professor, or probably a lecturer, you finish your first class or a 2-1, you have leadership experience, and your course of study will benefit the US. And even though that your course of study will benefit the US, and by the time you come to the US, your work or your job or your skills will not displace the US citizen. So there are many things to know about. So these two, right now. Also, let me tell you one thing. Before I think this is the last thing I'm talking about. So as of 2022, when I moved to the US, this NIW was very fast because Nigerians don't really know about it. As at then, Nigeria was below 10. In 2022, Nigerians that have applied to this application, they moved to in the US, they moved to from 10, they moved to number 8 as at 2022. No, as at last year, that moved to 22. As at last year, they moved from number 10, let's say number 10 to like number 8, from below 10 to number 8. So as at this year, as I'm talking to you right now, the processing time for this green card, whatever, is now longer. And Nigeria is now number 4 as the country in the US that has the highest applications of this green card application. So that means every year the population increases. of people that have applied to this. And now the processing time is not even longer than usual. Do you understand that? So that means things are going faster. Like countries, like Samuel said, countries are changing I've forgotten the word they use. They are changing their plans, like changing everything. Everything is changing. Now people are moving from this one to this one. This one and this one are almost similar, but this one is showing that, oh, I am the best in my field. Like among my colleagues, I stand out to be one of the best. But this one now, as at this week, the quota for submission for the year 2024 has closed. So that means they've reached the maximum quota of accepting application for this AP1 application. So they are going to open the portal again, I think October 1 this year. So that means for you to come to the US and you don't want to school, so far you have the information with you, like you have the right credentials and achievement with you, you can always actually apply for this too. So because of this, I have a friend. Actually, he didn't send me this. I have to like call him just now just to confirm that can I post his details. So yeah. So he's expert. He's an expert in this already. Like expert. He got this already. He got this one already as well. So he's an expert in helping people to work it out. So if you're interested, I will drop his details. So this is EB1 and EB2 and NIW. NIW. Yeah, I'll drop his WhatsApp details right now. And I think he sent me a video link. I will send that as well. So so if you're interested in applying for that, you can. And it will show you what to do and how to do it. In terms of cost, they're expensive, just like trying to like migrate to Canada as well without going for school. So it's more like that. So drop his number in the chat box. That is 733-263736. So I need to drop the video as well. You sent me a video. Just give me a second, please. Send me a video link. So I need to add everything together. Okay, I've seen his number. So he sent me this. So yeah, I've sent it already. So those are for people that want to go through that route. And I think it's 12 months. Yeah, 12 months. So that is his name. I didn't add his name, sorry. His name is Olaiton. But yeah, you can always message him. His name is Olaiton. I don't know if I can edit this. So that's it about residence in the US and all. So one thing I need to just add is so you don't have to set for less. Like Nigeria is the best nation. One thing you know, you don't have to set for less, and don't stop because you're tired. You keep going because you're almost there. And I submitted like I wrote several emails. Like last time I said I wrote up to like 300 emails. No, not lying, from 2018 down the line, like sending out emails and all. And you just need to like give yourself the encouragement. You can be the solution to the generation wealth in your family. Like, can start with you. You can either be the temporary solution or you be the permanent solution. So there was Adam, there was Abraham, and there was Jesus. So I'm sorry, I'm not preaching, but that was just it. So you can be the primary solution, or you be temporary, or you be the final solution. And one thing is another thing that's very important. Sorry about that. That I know like very important is God factor. The God factor is very important. Like the God factor. Like, someone said in a sinking ship there are no atheists, and that is true. Like your efforts are important. Those are the physical preach. Your prayer is much I should put that in prayer. Like prayer is much more important. You know, prayer is much more important, and prayer is much more important, and you need to pray. Like even for visa and whatever it is, you need to pray. And one thing is that you don't have to like even by the time you get your visa, you get to the US. Please don't forget God. By the time you get to that country, you don't forget God because you need God. And one Bible verse I love so much is that um, even though in your own plans, in everything you do not lean on your understanding. Trust in God with all your heart, and in every ways, let us like trust Him, and He'll surely like make things come your way. And once by the time you have everything you have, do not forget God. Please, it's very important. Do not forget God. And we all know Tesla, the guy, one of the great physicists ever, scientists ever. He said the gift of mental power comes from God, divine being. And if we concentrate our mind in that truth, we became in tune with this great power. So the brain you have, the fact that you're still alive because God made it possible for you to be alive today. So even in your effort, in your pushing and all, God is there, like washing you through. So the reason probably why you failed the last time because probably you trusted in your own ability. That could be a reason. And God said, until you trust in me, to like you come to me then. So you just have to pray. Physical effort is needed, spiritual effort is needed. By the time you combine the two together, you're good to go. So this is the end of the webinar for today. Like, I don't know if you have any question you want to ask me. Please feel free to ask me. Um, there's anything you want to ask me, you can always shout to me on WhatsApp. I dropped my number already. I can do that again. And if you want to contact my friend and my boss as well about the application in the US, yes, you can. And for the NIW and what's it called? If you want, yes, you can. I'm dropping my WhatsApp group link and my YouTube link also. I'm dropping that as well on the group page. And my email as well, my phone number. And my name is David, just in case you're wondering who's this guy. My name is David Adidamola. So this is the end of today's webinar. If you have a question, let me know. If not, we've come to the end of today's webinar. I really appreciate you coming. I don't think there'll be any other webinar again because applications in the US opened officially in August, but for many schools it will be September. So if you have any questions on anything, you can always ask me. But for now, this is the end of the webinar for this year. All things being equal, no debt, no loss. Yeah, this is the end of the webinar for this year for any graduate school. Or if we have anything, I don't know if you have anything coming up soon or anytime soon. But for now, this is the end of the webinar.
Yeah, Mr. David, just a quick
Yeah,
one before we end.
yeah.
So, thank you, Mr. David, for everything you've done, especially for the group. So, a question trips up saying, what about we that our head is no more going for book anymore, want to get a job in the United States and what have you? Yes. So, like you said, good number of people they get jobs from Nigeria to the United States, but you must have a solidified portfolio, like something you wanna like give in an exchange. You get for like that means like you coming from Nigeria, it means somebody in the United States cannot do the job that you are applying for or you've gotten in for. So I would say the route for job is also good. You keep applying, you keep pushing putting in your best, you keep pushing, you keep applying. There's numbers of jobs in the United States. And as much also you can be in Nigeria, be working remotely for the United States. You get it now. So for that question, I think that has answered the person. Like in terms of job, you're like you don't want to go through the academic route again. Academic is not giving money and all that. You get it, like you understand. So
Yeah,
God will
that,
help us. Thank you very much,
that's
sir. Yeah.
yeah. My brother said, David, if you need more money, because I asked him like I need an increment. Said, if you need more money, then graduate on time. Yeah, that's it. So you can apply for jobs too, but you need H1B visa, like a job sponsorship, like mentioned here. Yeah, you need a sponsorship to apply from Nigeria to be able to do that. Yeah, it's very much possible. Yeah, it's not everybody want to go to school, and that's why I'm proposing that you can also come through this true route. You need an expert to do that. And I gave you the guy's contact already. You can always come through that route. So thank you everyone. Thank you for coming. I do, like I said, I don't know if there'll be any other webinar for this year anymore. I'm not so sure if I will be doing any one again. So you can always go to the YouTube videos for more information. Once again, thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much. See you on my WhatsApp group. Yeah, you can always meet there. Send me an email if you need any help. See your SOPs, your CVs, and reviews. And I'll be glad to see every one of us, at least 60% of us in the US by next year. Possibly can have a reunion. Maybe I can tell. So thank you once again, everyone. I appreciate it. And Samuel, thank you so much. and keep flexing anyway. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.
RA. So they didn't give you an offer letter for it.